Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain you this poem, Ozymandias, and I explained you this poem in our last classes by explaining line by line and word to word. And you all have written with your pencil and book the extra word meanings. Some word meanings are given here, but there are more word meanings which I told you, and just write down. I'm going to repeat in this explanation again. Okay. So, students, this is the poem of an Egyptian king whose name is Ozymandias, and this poem is written by P.B. Shelley, that means Percy Bysshe Shelley. Okay, so see about the poet first. P.B. Shelley was born on 1792 and died on 1822. He was one of the famous renowned English romantic poet of the 19th century. Best known for his lyrical and long form verse, he also wrote pamphlets and poems that intended to reform society. Now, students, listen to me very carefully. This poem is totally based on a sonnet. Sonnet means a poem that has 14 lines and a fixed pattern of rhyme. And this pamphlet means a very thin book with a paper which in which P.B. Shelley written so many small stories in that book. Okay. So, students, here is written that I met a traveler from an antique land. That means I met means the poet says that he met a traveler from an antique. Antique means old land. And this traveler told the poet that he saw two vast means big, and trunkless leg, and they were made of stone. So that was a part of a statue. They were standing in the desert, and these two legs, and then he says, near the two legs on the sand, he saw there was a broken face of the same statue lies. They are buried on the same land in the desert. Now, frown means, students, expression of anger, full expression of full anger. So, the poet says that the face half sunk in the sand has an expression of frown means anger. In this para, the poet says that the sculptor sculptor means who had made the statue, was a very fine person. Why so? Because he has very good at his work. He analyzed the expressions on the king's face very well, and he copied them onto the statue perfectly, very perfectly, I think. So he is saying that the statue had a very good expression with anger. And the wrinkled lip shows the sneering quality. Sneering quality means it's a quality of a face, and cold dominating emotionless which were there in the king Ozymandias. And then he says the sculptor has done or analyzed these expressions on the king's face very well, and he was very well in his work of making the statue, and he copied the expression while making the statue. Now, hand means, students, the hand that mocked means, students, hand means a sculptor's hand, and heart means king's heart. Here, king's heart. And fed means to produce the proud of expression. Pedestal means, you all know, base of the statue, that is platform. Ye means you. Mighty means refers to a powerful king, and despair means at a complete loss of hope, being rejected or hopeless. Okay. So on the platform written, my name is Ozymandias, king of kings. By this, the king was introduced himself as a king of kings, and he tells to all the powerful kings in the world that look upon my works, that he had a statue, whereas a statue is not exist any longer. This is the irony that the poet is saying that the engraving of platform says look upon my work, but finally the statue lying on the sand. And so this shows that how proud Ozymandias was that he got such a huge statue that he got. Okay. Colossal wreck means extremely large. Colossal means extremely large, big, and wreck means ruined, damaged, destroyed. Okay. And boundless means without any limit. You all know. Bare means without the statue of King Ozymandias. So, of the three lines of the last 3 lines of the poem, what says? That there the poet says that today, other than the platform which is engraving on it, nothing of the statue remains. The statue had been completely destroyed, and then he says that around the remains of the huge statue there is boundless, means there is a huge desert which is no limits, and desert is without the statue of the King Ozymandias. There is only thing which is visible, that there is a huge and in that desert. So students, I think that you all understand the explanation very carefully, because this is our second explanation. We all study about this poem when we are having our classes. So now I am going to I send this video by explaining again. So if you have problem, then you can ask me. You all know the answers also. Answers are very easy, and you all had written in your copy also. So learn the answers very well, and if you have any problem, you can ask me. Okay. Thank you, class.